Welcome back, future medicos. In this video, I'm going to clarify a confusion whether open category students are eligible for the 7.5% government school reservation in Tamil Nadu. Now, few days ago, I posted a video related to the 7.5% reservation in Tamil Nadu for government school students. And there were a couple of comments which were questioning my approach in that video. For example, Gautam has said this. He has said that I think there is a mistake in OC, that is open category, special 7.5% reservation in this video. Since it's horizontal reservation, only reserved categories have this 7.5% allocation. So now Gautam believes that when it is horizontal reservation, only reserved categories will have reservation and there should not be any reservation under the open category. Okay, that's one comment from Gautam. And there was another comment from Ravindra Bharati. It's horizontal reservation, no seats from open category for government school. Only the reservation category get further split. Update. Once again, Ravindra Bharati was almost similar to Gautam. He's also saying that open category, there is no reservation for government school students. Now, these are two comments complaining about that particular video. And now there is another comment from Siva Pravina. She has said, I studied 1st to 12th standard in government school and I am from your category, that is unreserved category. Am I eligible for this reservation? That is 7.5% government school students reservation in Tamil Nadu. Now, basically, I'm going to address these three comments. These three comments are mainly talking about, do we have reservation for government school students who do not belong to any reservation category? Now, let's say this white box represents the total government quota seats in Tamil Nadu. That means the seats from government colleges as well as government quota seats in private colleges. If you look at how these seats are split across the various categories, you can see that 1% of these seats goes to ST candidates. 3% of seats are allocated or reserved for SCA candidates, that is SC Arundadiyar. 15% of the seats goes to scheduled caste candidates, SC candidates. 20% of the seats are reserved for MBC, that is most backward. 3.5% goes to BC Muslim. 26.5% goes to backward community, that is BC candidates. So these are the reservation categories in Tamil Nadu, which adds up to 69%, and the remaining 31% is considered as open category, which means anybody can compete in this open category. So it's not reserved for anybody. It's not for forward caste. It is open for everybody. An MBC candidate, if he or she scores extremely high, then they can get a seat under open category. So that's the meaning of open category. So this is the overall reservation. Now let's look at how the 7.5% horizontal reservation for government school students get allocated. Now, if you look at here, right, there is a 7.5% seats that is within the ST category. For example, if there are 100 seats in ST category, 7.5 seats go to government school students who are ST candidates. This is a quota within a quota, right? So out of the 100 seats, 7.5 seats will go to government school students who should be ST candidates. Now, similarly, 7.5% seats within SCA category is reserved for government school students of SCA category. The same applies to SC candidates. The same applies to MBC candidates. The same applies to BCM candidates. The same applies to BC candidates. Now the only confusion is, these everybody agree, yes, when there is a horizontal reservation, they all agree that a 7.5% seats within that category will be allocated to this particular category, which is government school students from that particular category. Now, will there be a reservation within open category? Because it is an open category, naturally you should not have any reservation, right? Not true. The horizontal reservation works this way. There will be a 7.5% reservation within open category also, but who will take these seats? It's not the forward cast. It is any student irrespective of the category, but he or she should be a government school student. So the only condition or the only requirement to get a seat in the 7.5% is that candidate should be a government school student. He or she can be a BC, MBC, SC, ST, unreserved, can be any category. As long as they score higher, and when the government releases a separate merit list for government school students, if they are on the top ranks, right? If they are among the top 31% of the students, let's say there are about 100 seats are reserved for government school students. The top 31 students will take seats under this category. So please understand, it doesn't mean when we say horizontal reservation, it doesn't mean there is no reservation under open category. There is a 7.5% reservation that goes under open category. Now, you may ask the question, are you sure about it? I heard differently. Yes, I saw a lot of YouTube videos which is giving wrong information, which is not true. Let me explain with example or some fact why this assumption is correct. Let's look back at a previously existing horizontal reservation. There is already a horizontal reservation for physically handicapped students or persons with disabilities. Now there is a 5% horizontal reservation for persons with disabilities in Tamil Nadu. Now how this works, it works exactly similar to what I have explained. In case if you have doubt, you take last year allotment and see whether any OC candidates have got seats under persons with disabilities, then that will answer your question. Now let's look at how this 5% reservation for persons with disabilities work. You can see here again, 5% seats within each category is reserved for persons with disability. And once again, any person with disability, irrespective of the category, will be able to take a seat under the open category. The only requirement here to take a seat under this blue color is they should be a person with disability. As long as they fulfill that, it doesn't matter what category they belong to, they can get a seat. So these are the two horizontal reservations right now we have in Tamil Nadu. 7.5% proposed, it's still not final, 7.5% proposed for government school students, and 5% is already existing for persons with disabilities. So basically, there is 12.5% we have reserved for specifically certain categories, that is government school students and persons with disability. They only can get seats under these specific categories, whereas the remaining 87.5% seats, any candidate can get these seats, irrespective of whatever, right? Even a person with disability can get a seat here. Even a government school student can get a seat here. In case if they get excellent marks, they can get a seat here also. So this is how it works. So naturally, there is a 12.5% horizontal reservation across all categories, including open category. And the remaining 87.5% seats within each category is allocated for that particular category candidates. So this is what I wanted to explain. So probably this makes things clear to you. In case if you have any doubts, please check some of the previous allocations. Particularly, I want you to look at the allocations for persons with disability in the past years. Probably that will help you to understand that in fact, open category will have a horizontal reservation. Thank you very much. In case you like this video, if you believe that this video is going to be useful to your friends, don't forget to share this video. Thank you very much. I see you soon in some other video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.